Hi everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you all from wherever you're joining us from today. How are you guys doing today? I hope you all are doing well. Hope you had a good day. I trust you guys are having an amazing day. Over here, it has been raining since morning and still raining. Hope you guys are having a good day wherever you are joining us from. Thank you so much for joining us today. I can say our mommy of all mommy diaspora. Thank you so much for your support to Nigeria Watch. We appreciate you and we love you. I can say Mary Kimade. Thank you so much for joining us today. We love and we appreciate you. I hope you guys are doing so well today. And first of all, I want to apologize that I might not be able to be sharing some pictures and some videos today because we've tried like we tried to see how we can share some videos and pictures about what we're going to be talking about today, but YouTube is so strict. They are not allowing these things, especially when it comes to sensitive issues. In order for us not to risk anything at all, so we decided we're not going to be sharing any videos or any pictures concerning what we're going to be talking about today. So I'm really sorry about that, guys. We know we have to abide by the rules and regulations of YouTube. Thank you all so much for joining us. I can see that more people are coming on live. Thank you for joining us. I can see Pretty Favor. Thank you so much for joining us, Pretty Favor. I hope you guys are doing very well. I hope you're doing okay. My name is Kachi. I'm going to be your presenter for today. Please tell a friend to tell another friend. Like, share, comment. If you're yet to subscribe to our channel, please do so. Thank you so much. More people are coming on live now. Thank you guys for joining us. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, guys. So, basically, today we're going to be talking about the effect of drugs on Nigerian youths. We're going to be talking about the effect of drugs, but it has come to our notice that a lot of new drugs are entering town, and a lot of people that are patronizing them are teenagers, people still in school, the youths, the people in college. These are teenagers patronizing these new drugs in town. That's what we're going to be talking about today. It's a very sensitive topic, and that's why we will not be able to share any pictures or videos. Please bear with us. Like I already explained, YouTube is strict about things like that. So we have to abide by their rules and regulations so we can be here for a very, very long time. Thank you so much for your understanding, guys. Thank you so much. Okay, we'll be diving shortly on the topic for today. So the first thing I have on my list here is Colorado. I'm sure some of us might have heard about it. It's called Colorado. I'm sure we have heard about it. So according to drug experts, Colorado is a dangerous substance smoked by youth to enliven their spirit and get intoxicated, most times leading to insanity. It is derived from a synthetic plant and contains heavy metal, which is not healthy for human consumption. Hmm. Just like it says there, it says it's not healthy for human consumption. So I really do not know if these people smoking this already know that this is not healthy for human consumption. So now the question is, why do they take it? If you say this is a substance that is not good for your health, is a substance that is not you're not supposed to take because it's harmful for your health. So why do they keep taking it? Why do you keep taking a substance that is bad for you, something that can kill you, something that can make you run mad? Why do you keep taking such substances? Because The height of drugs right now in our society is alarming, and that is why I came up with this topic. If our youth are truly the leaders of tomorrow, that is why I came up with this topic. If we're truly the leaders of tomorrow, what examples are we setting? Every day we open our social media, we open Instagram, we open Facebook, we see how these drugs, we see how these people, how they react after taking this thing. And the painful part is it doesn't even stop them from taking it. Tomorrow you will see another set of people taking the same thing. Oh boy, your head no strong now. That is why. I mean, if I take on nothing will do me. That is what you hear. So it's really sad. It's really sad, and you see teenagers, people still in secondary school, people in college taking these things, something that is harmful to your health. I mean, who doesn't know these things are harmful? Because you see how these people react for every time they take this, we all see the reaction. We all see how they react. So sometimes ago, I was at the office, and we saw a guy practically just walking on the street. Okay, we just thought, okay, maybe everybody know wetin they do there. Maybe this one carry problem for head. The next thing, the guy went on top the bridge and he jumped down. For in mind now, that place just be like swimming pool. He just jumped down, go swim. After a while, we'll start hearing that he took Colorado. Hey God. Tomorrow you will still see another person taking it. That is just the sad truth. You still see somebody else taking it, saying that okay, maybe this one head not too strong. That is why the thing affect am like that. Maybe my own head go strong past this other person. Make I try and make I see, strong. They even go as far as betting. They even go as far as betting. Okay, make we bet. Let me drop this money. If I take this thing up until this point, you're going to give me so and so money. Like, how can you be betting on your life? How can you be using something as dangerous as this? How can you be doing that? Whew, is really crazy, because we keep hearing news every time we keep hearing news. I mean, in the past few days, the discussion around the deadly effect of alcohol, narcotics, drugs, and abuse have been at fever pitch due to the death of promising youth, especially in the Nigerian entertainment scene. Especially especially in the Nigerian entertainment scene. I can see somebody backstage, Engineer Ken. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you so much. I see somebody in the comment section, Naomi Bella. Good evening to you too, and thank you so
Good
much for
evening, my
joining
dear.
us
How are
today.
you?
I'm doing very well, thank you, Engineer Ken. I'm doing well, thank
Yeah,
you. Hmm. Thank you so much for joining me today.
yes, you're welcome.
Yeah. So like I was saying about the abuse of drugs, so that's why I came. Okay, let's watch this video, guys. I think we've been able to play something, so let's just see if we can play something, because it's a very sensitive topic, and YouTube is not allowing us play some videos because of how sensitive the topic is. So at the end of the day, like I said, that's what brought me to the topic. If our leaders are truly if our youth are truly the leaders of tomorrow, due to the death of promising youth, especially in Nigeria entertainment, most recent of such fatal occurrences is death. Like, we see these things happen every time. It's not something new. It's not a new topic. It's not something that we don't already know. This is something we already know. This is something that is always happening around. So we know these things. We know that these things keep happening. But the reason why I've brought it to your notice today is because the rate at which this whole thing keeps happening is just going up and up. It's not coming down, and is really getting alarming. It's scary, and because you see the children, people that are in secondary school are already practicing, are already taking weed. Colorado. There's this one they call Black Mamba. Then there's this one raining in the east right now. They call it Miri. Once you take it, you start acting as if you're insane. You start acting as if you're crazy. And these people, they see these things. They see it. So I don't know why they keep going to take it. You already see these things. You already know this is harmful. You already know that if I take this thing, something might happen to me. So that's just even the painful part. You know this thing is bad. So why do you keep taking it? Why? And tomorrow we'll come out protesting, we'll come out saying, oh, we don't want this to happen, we don't want this leader, we don't want this, we don't want that. But are we truly the youth? Are we truly the leaders of tomorrow? Are we truly the leaders of tomorrow? So I'm going to move to Engineer Ken. I would like to get your thoughts concerning this issue. Engineer Ken, can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
I mute myself before because I'm just driving back from the office. Yeah,
Okay.
we spoke about this day before yesterday, right?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
said something about us coming to talk about it today.
Yes. Thank you thank you for taking that drive, and you took your time to do some research about this. I'm not trying to say
Children these
some
days, the
certain things
youths.
about some
I
tribes.
like your submission, Mr. Speaker, that it is
Can you hear me?
Engineer
Hello?
Ken, okay, I think Engineer Ken, please, I think Ninja Watch is trying to play a video for us to see. Maybe we finally
Okay.
found a video. I think we
Okay.
finally found a video that YouTube accepts. So
Okay.
let's watch this video because we had a difficult time trying to get a video for YouTube to accept because of how sensitive the topic is.
Okay.
look at the children these days, the youths. I like your submission, Mr. Speaker, that it is not unemployment that should be the bane or the reason why youths will come out and begin to misbehave. There are unemployments in so many countries of the world, even in the United States. I schooled in the UK, and I saw a lot of young people who were not employed, but they didn't become hoodlums. Why can't we look inwards and look for solutions to our problems? Why can't the young people look within themselves, look for their talents? Even if as graduates, what stops you from becoming a designer or a professional tiler or what have you, and make a brand of it? There is no excuse for being a hoodlum. Mr. Speaker, I think it is about time. I mentioned this on the floor of the House. Ab initio, we became members of the Ninth Assembly, that the National Orientation Agency needs to set to work. We need to begin to orientate our young people. They need people who can talk to them from time to time. They are high on drugs all the time, most of them. They go to social media, they do all sorts of things. I'm even scared to give my young children phones because I'm scared I don't know what they would see on the social media. The children these days, the youths, I like your submission, Mr. Speaker, that it is not unemployment that should be the bane or the reason why youths will come out and begin to misbehave. There are unemployments in so many countries of the world, even in the United States. I schooled in the UK, and I saw a lot of young people who were not employed, but they didn't become hoodlums. Why can't we look inwards and look for solutions to our problems? Why can't the young people look within themselves, look for their talents? Even if as graduates, what stops you from becoming a designer or a professional tiler or what have you, and make a brand of it? There is no excuse for being a hoodlum. Mr. Speaker, I think it is about time. I mentioned this on the floor of the House. Ab initio, we became members of the Ninth Assembly, that the National Orientation Agency needs to set to work. We need to begin to orientate our young people. They need people who can talk to them from time to time. They are high on drugs all the time, most of them. They go to social media, they do all sorts of things. I'm even scared to give my young children phones because I'm scared I don't know what they would see on the social media.
All right. I guess you guys can hear me. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to every one of you. Yes, currently Kashi is having some technical issues. She'll be joining us pretty soon. So we're going to be talking about the issue of drug, which is currently killing and affecting almost all our youth in Nigeria as we speak. I don't know who is indoctrinating them, who is pushing them into this. They take it for fun these days, and most of them have lost their lives because of this. It's happening all the time, so we don't know what is happening. So I think we're going to be having Kashi back now so that he can take over, and do this on our own. Please let me go to the comment section to appreciate every one of you right there. Mother of all, Mommy Diaspora, good evening to you. Thank you very much, Mommy, for joining us. Like I see, Mary Kimade is right there with us. Pretty Favor, Owie, thank you very much for joining us. I can see Osunden, Osasue, thank you very much for joining us. I can see Sunday Bushi, thank you for joining us. Naomi Bella is right there with us. Thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate every one of you for this moment. Please, we have Kashi back right now. So, Kashi, can you hear me? You're having issue with your network right now. It's very sad, It seems to be that I'm the only one in Nigeria that don't normally have issue with my network. Most people have issue with their network in Nigeria. I asked myself why. All right, people, I will let Leftist Amawusa talk to us now. Leftist Amawusa, what's your take on drug addict that is currently affecting our youth? Please talk to us.
Good evening, everyone. Hello.
I can hear you. I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. There are a lot of issues, although I'm not an expert that has to come to drug. The drug industry is a multi-billion naira industry, and they have a very strong cartel all over the place. They are very strong people, not like the one we watch in the film. Really on ground, they are strong people. I think for me, for the youth, actually, one of the reasons I think is responsible is because some of them is lack of confidence. Some of them are taking this thing just to have what they call artificial confidence. Whenever they have issues, when some of them want to speak their minds in terms of anger, they want to express how they feel about some certain situation, they can just go and get some of those things that will intoxicate them. but from there becomes an habit for them. When it becomes an habit for them, then it becomes a problem. Secondly, it also go down to wrong company, wrong company kind of friend they keep, because some of them are luring into this dangerous thing by the kind of friendship they keep, association. Some are elderly people they call bros can also lead them into it, and some of the parents will not actually know what is actually wrong, and the society has also make it to be something to that will stay with us forever. Although we have agencies who are saddled with the responsibility ensuring that we are drug free, but they are not actually stepping out to their responsibility. Like there are some people in the certain part of Nigeria, like I think the number one drug state in Nigeria is Kano. So far, so good. And some of those people who are taking it, there are some of those who they call lebuke, who will be taking it when they are walking, and they will not really feel the pains, and they will not be actually be tired when they are walking. There are so many factors that also led to it. I think I'm not an expert in terms of drug related issues. So let me hold on for now for that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, leftist Amawosa. Thank you very much. I think we have Kashi back right now. Kashi, can you hear us at all?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm so sorry, guys. My network has been fluctuating. I'm back now.
Okay, take over. Thank you.
All right, guys, I'm really sorry about that. I was having some challenges with my internet, but I'm back now. So we're talking about the effect drugs has on the youth, because the rates is just going up and they keep bringing up new kind of drugs keeps coming up, and is it's really really alarming. I heard that Mr. Leftis just finished talking, so we're going to move next to Engineer Ken. Engineer Ken, please, what do you have to say concerning this?
Yeah, my dear sister, drug abuse is a very, very big issue in this world. And Nigeria, as a country that has no control, that is what we call failure. It's two failure. One, failure of parenting. One, two, failure of governments that lead to all this drug of a thing. When I was growing up, as a child and as a young man, I have a lot of my friends that smokes. I never smoked a cigarette in my entire life. Another weed, that's what we know locally as a go. And then I didn't do that one day. But that doesn't make you to be a strong man or a hard man. You know, it doesn't gives you extra strength to do some extra things or to be bold to do some stuff. It's just to me is the corruption of the land that lead to a lot of all these kinds of things that is going on. And the NDLA, they are working, but some of them are compromised. They take bribes. Let's go directly to the foundation of this drug abuse that we're having. How do this drug get to Nigeria? Where are they coming from? Who is bringing them? And how are they being manufactured? I will take us back to Asia and some areas in North America, like Colombia, Ecuador, Honduras, and Mexico. Asia, like Thailand, Thailand number one, Pakistan number two, and Indonesia Indonesia number two, Pakistan number three, Thailand number one. 90%, mark this word, 90, this is not like then say I hear. This is I mark my eyes. My foot was there, my eyes are there. I saw them with my 2 naked eyes. My 2 naked eyes. I was on vacation in BKK Bangkok when Obasanjo came that they free some Nigerian prisoners for Obasanjo. Obasanjo paid some debts that the Nigerian government were holding for rice. The Obasanjo came down to Thailand and paid that money. And Obasanjo did that because Obasanjo's sister were arrested in Thailand for drug trafficking. His own sister. So he came to pay that debt and then released his sister for him and other Nigerians. And he now signed a deal with the Thai government that any Nigerian being arrested in Thailand for drug trafficking, that they should go to after 15 years or 20 years imprisonment, that they should send them back to Nigeria to continue the death sentence. You know? So this is what I was there at the vacation at the time. That was like 1999, 2000. Between 98, 99, 2000. It was around those 3 years that this thing took place. And a lot of our Nigerians that are there, 90% of them are drug traffickers. Number one is Igbos. Number two, Yoruba. There are few other tribes that we have in Nigeria that are there doing the same thing. They are not up to 3%. They are not up to 3%. And these guys now they know how to manufacture all these things. They know what to put together to have ecstasy. They know what to put together to have crack cocaine. They know what to put together to have coke. So what they are doing right now, they are not importing those chemicals to Nigeria to make it locally in Nigeria and sell locally. And 90% of our clubs in Nigeria being owned by these bad boys. They are selling all those things in those clubs. Yes, that is how they are making money. And if you checkmate all these young men from Obi Kubana down to the least person that runs all this club business in Nigeria, where is their foundation? How do you make all these billions? What did you do to acquire all this wealth? You did not travel outside Nigeria to stay to work. You don't have a family or a family inheritance that gives you all this wealth. How did you do it? They will come out and lie is real estate in Abuja, real estate in Lagos. Those are all lies. How did you do it? So these guys, they are the kingpin of drug trafficking business in the country. The NDLA, the police, all of them, they know what is going on, but they are being compromised by corruption.
Do you think it's something that can be contained? Because we have a lot of videos and pictures from
Okay.
teenagers, people that are still in secondary school. They leave school. I'm just really sad that these videos are things that we cannot actually put on this platform because of
I understand. Yeah,
the
I understand.
you
I'm not.
see secondary school students, they leave their schools, they go out to take this thing. So do you think it's something that can be contained? Because right now it's not just about the club, it doesn't just happen in clubs and things like that.
Yeah,
Observation, Vic.
yeah.
The
Observation,
younger
please.
ones,
Hello.
Okay. Yes, go ahead.
okay, we're here.
Good day, sir. My profound respect, Engineer Ken.
Yes.
Well done, sir. You just mentioned some name. I want to say at this moment on this program, think. Hello, sir.
Yes, I understand that. I
Uh-huh.
understand.
Like,
I understand that.
so,
My mistake, yeah.
so
My mistake.
you can withdraw. Okay,
Yeah, my mistake. I won't call no names anymore. My mistake.
Okay,
okay,
we're not
You
meant
know,
to
okay.
call people,
so
please.
I
Is
will
a
do back
person
my
is a personal is a personal opinion. So Niger Watch is not liable.
Yeah, I
Thank you.
understand.
Yeah.
I wanted to call more, but when that word came out from my mouth, I had to hold my peace, so that
Oh, okay.
I don't want my boss to fire me.
Okay. Thanks for your understanding.
Yeah, no problem, my brother. I don't understand.
Okay,
So
please
the,
go
the,
ahead.
the way we can contain this thing, we have to have a tough person that is not compromised with money. Let me take us back to what's the name of this lady that Obasanjo brought into Nigeria that becomes the head of a drug that was taking care of all these medicine and what was her name again? I'm trying to get her
Uh,
name.
I've forgotten her name. The not that woman.
Ngozi something or what was her name again? The one
Ugozi
that was
Iwala. Ugozi
yeah,
Iwala.
the one that was in charge of NAFDA.
Ugozi Iwala.
NAFDA. Yes, yes. Do you know?
Ugozi
Do you
Iwala.
know attacks on that lady in Nigeria at that time? I think it was more than three times assassination to that lady. That the bodyguard, the protection that Obasanjo gave to this lady was more than the protection that him himself as a president was having. That lady conveyed a lot of containers that was packed full of bad drugs coming from Asia, bad cosmetics coming from Asia. In 1998, I was in Hong Kong. I was in Hong Kong, 98. For vacation. I come across some Igbo guys. They thought maybe I lived there. They were asking me how can they get a company here to make this Tura soap and Tura gel to make the fake one but have the same smell. I fought them, I insulted them a lot on that very day. It almost caused a police problem. So they now ran away. This is true story from me. This is true story from me. You know, so that woman, she did a lot. They attack her. So we need someone like that who can come in and be in charge and that will be ready to take these guys down. All those cliques that we've seen in our riverine areas, those are the things that they do there. Apart from the bunkering, they build all those things and they do it. And our people that traveled into North America, South America, and Southeast Asia, a lot of them went there to learn this business. They were trafficking in by themselves, but because of the jail sentence, and some of those countries now put death penalty, so they stop. So what they're not doing is to come home and bring them home and manufacture home and take them down to Europe or to America. So this is a very, very big problem that if our government did not stand tall in this matter, in the next 10 years, we're going to have over 25% of our youth, men and women, running mad in the streets. Mostly even the children of the elite politicians, that they will think that their children is exempted. It's not as it is not. They're going to have friends. They're going to party. Their friends is going to introduce them into it. That to be a big boy, a big girl, you have to take this. So yes, this is a very, very big problem. And the police and the NDLEA, they know these people. They know them and they know how to catch them. They know who they are. They know where they live. They know all these guys. But they are not picking them up because they are getting paid. They are getting paid from them. You see, that is where corruption is. Our politicians can stop this corruption. If they can stop being corrupt, if they can do the needful and do fair share of government and leaders, all these things will be put to book and there will be a stop into it. You cannot expect a policeman that has been in the police for 20 years is still receiving about $50 to $60 monthly. Monthly. Maybe he has a wife, not maybe. He has a wife and 3 or 4 kids living in one room. Even the $60 that they are paying him in a month, in 3 4 months, they will not even get that money they will not even pay him that money. So what do you expect from a man like that? That man will speak the truth and he will cover it up. He will cover it up. So these are the problem that we have. And the so-called politicians are getting paid Every month, some of them are making $50,000 monthly of their salary. You see? So these are the biggest problem that these corrupt politicians have to stop. They have to make it an equal fair pay to all these people, to all these policemen and NDLA officers, so that they can do their job very, very well in a professional manner. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Engineer Ken. Thank you for that. But I want to ask, yeah, you made some a comment about the elite. Some of the elites, they know that their kids take these things and stuff like that. I'm not even going to even focus on that. I want to even
Mm,
talk about the average people here in Nigeria, the average people. You know, we've seen videos, we've seen pictures of how young girls, people still in secondary school, junior secondary school, JSS 1 to JSS 3, how they leave school, how they go to wherever they go to, smoke, do whatever they deem fit, and come back home to say, "Oh, mommy, daddy, I'm back from school," and their parents say, "Welcome."
mm.
So, is it that as parents they have failed, or is it that they are not paying attention? Because I want to believe when you
Okay.
start exposing yourself to drugs, your
Mm.
your your
Can I,
attitude
can I say
your
something?
attitude change. There are
Mm.
things about you that changes. Is it that the parents are not even paying attention?
Yes.
Because it
Can I?
starts from there. That's where it starts from, before they grow, and at that point you cannot actually do anything about it anymore. Is it that the
Yes.
parents are not paying
Can I come
attention
in?
to the children?
Can I come in?
Please go ahead.
Okay. You remember before I start my speech, I said two things that
Yeah,
caused it. I said parenting
yeah.
and bad government. These are the
Okay.
two things that I mentioned. Before going in deeply into this drug abuse. You know, you see, let me use myself as a case study. Let me review a little part of me. As a teenager growing up, I went to Victory Nursing School and
Okay.
Primary School. It was one of the best school back then in the 70s in Benin. It was very, very, it is school for the elite, you know, and this was in Ewa Road. Beautiful, beautiful school, very beautiful school. I was in primary four. Anytime our driver pick us up from school when we get home, in the evening, my dad always go through our books, our bags. On that day, my dad searched my bag. You know what he found? He found a gun in my bag. I was in primary four, and that gun belongs to my very close friend. I won't reveal his identity. You know, it belongs to him. He brought it from his father's house. And he asked. He was looking at us. Okay, I'm going to hold it. I hold it. So when I get home now, after my homework and everything, I was supposed to hide it, but I forgot. It was in my school bag. So my dad was just going through all my clothes. I was a big time stubborn kid. When I mean stubborn, I was really, really stubborn. I hate oppression. I hate lies. I hate thieves. I don't like it. So, and the person that brought this thing was a girl, my friend. I hope she's listening to me. I'm even looking for her. She was one that brought this gun, this pistol. You know, so the father was a very big senior man back in that days in the force. Guess what happened? Do you know that I died and I wake up again with water? My dad killed me. My dad beat the hell out of me. I collapsed. I found myself waking up in the hospital. That was what my father did to me. And my dad tried to stop me on that day. And my father gone to the prison. And he was so dead with me. you know. So since that day, you know, my dad focused on me. All my friends in school at that time, the principal, all of them focus on us. They get with us. It's what good parenting does. You know, good parenting. My
Yeah.
dad told me, he says, I brought you to this life. Before you will give me a bad name, I will kill you. I did not give my father a bad name. And none of my children will give me a bad name. No, that's what I said. You know?
Okay.
So
Okay.
so that is where parenting can work. These days you will see a child. The parents will take that child and say, I want to buy my son a laptop. Teach my son Yahoo. Teach 14 years old how to do Yahoo.
Mm.
When I hear these things, when I hear them, I watch them. Sometimes people send me videos, so then I go into YouTube, I see what is going on. I start sharing tears. That is this what is wrong with these young parents? The young parents that we have now, young parents from early 50 to mid 30s. The way they are parenting their children is different from the way that they themselves were being parented.
Mm.
It's different from the way their own parents take care
That's
of
true.
them. You understand me?
Mm.
Being make parables, they says, "Oh, you go my young Mara." Is a being poor does not make you to be a thief.
Mm.
You know, so first and foremost, they have to start dealing with this young parenting. That is why all the time I always say this. I say Africa as a continent is not ready for democratic government. All we need is military. Military. Let's assume that it was a military regime that we are. Do you think this nonsense will be coming up? This nonsense will not come up. It will not. The soldiers will go there and take care of all these mess. You know, just look at back in the days during the time of the first government of Buhari with a terrible Mr. War against indiscipline. I remember that time. That time I threw a napkin out from the car. Also, I came my dad's driver, pulled over and said, "Go pick it up." I said, "I'm picking it up." He picked it up and said, in the evening, he reported me to my dad. My dad gave me 6 from the cane.
Mm.
My dad
So,
scolded me.
in other words, Engineer Ken, in other words, parenting is majorly part of the issue.
Yes, big time.
Okay.
Parents
Okay.
contribute over 80%. The remaining
Okay.
20% or 30% is the failure of government.
Failure of government,
Yes.
society, peer pressure, and stuff like that.
See, my sister, in this life, in this life, God did not create any man to be poor.
Mm.
God made a man and gave men the audacity to create wealth. It is the way you gathered that matters in life. There are some men, they gather and they scatter their wealth. There are some people that gather it and they utilize it. We have people here that lives in the US. They work hard, weekend they go to club and they waste all their funds. I remember over 26 years ago when I came 26 or 7 years ago when I came to the US newly. Every weekend I party with my friends. One day I sat myself down, after school and everything. I told myself that, listen, is this my journey? Is this my American dream? Is this the way I want to live my life? I'm making the bank of the club owners getting fatter every day by day. I have to step out from my friends. I change my location. I step out from them. We still talk. We're still friends. But hanging out every weekend, Friday night, Saturday night, I cut it out. I have to position myself. But today, to God be the glory. I'm still up myself for over 20 something years. And they still work for people. They still work, they still get paid every week. But I have my own stuff. You see, the difference is always there if you are focused in life. So you being poor does not make you to become to
Anything
become
at
to,
all.
to become a poor person. It's how you gathered. That's just the fact. A lot of our young youths these days, they don't want to work. Even
Yeah.
when you see them here in the US, they don't want to work. They'll tell you they want to be like you. You that have put in over 2 decades, over 20 years, 30 years in already. They want to be like you overnight. How will you do that? You have to start from somewhere. But they
That's
don't
right.
want that. So that is the problem. They don't want to work. You remember the other day we talked, was it on Sunday? When I tell you there are wealth in that country, people seize and they just throw their back away because they're waiting for free money. They're waiting for free money. So, poverty does not make you to become a drug addict. Number one, those drugs are not cheap and it's not for free.
You're
You have to
not.
pay for it and take it. So where
You're
do you get
not.
those money from?
Exactly.
Yeah. So the parents, the society, and the government has to do a lot of town halls. Invite all these parents. Churches have to talk about it. Mosques have to talk about it. Schools have to talk about it. It's a thing that everyone has to be, every hand has to be on deck to
On deck.
fight this thing. You
Yeah.
understand me? They have to create enough awareness. Posters have to be everywhere. You have to let them know that this thing is not good. This thing is not good. It destroys lives a lot, a lot. So they have to reach up. If they don't do that, 10, 15 years time, we're going to have junkies. When you see junkies, you- when you see them, it's so funny the way they look. For real. So we have to work. This is a job that we have to do. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Engineer Ken. You actually made a very, very valid point there. I really think parents have a huge role to play in their children's lives. Pay more attention to them because I think, like you already said, the way parents are handling their children now, that is not how they were being handled when they were kids as well. So it's just really so sad seeing these things happen. Me, I'm even more pained because of even the children self. Secondary school children, junior secondary school children, you see them leaving school. Is it that their parents don't even have contact with their schools? They don't know when their children are in school and they're out of school. It's just so sad because I mean you see a 14-year-old buying a car for buying a car. You see a 15-year-old, 16-year-old, 17, 21-year-old buying a car, building a house for the mother, and the mother is dancing, the father is dancing. Oh, God has blessed me through my son, without even caring to find out the source of the wealth. You don't. These children even can smoke in the presence of their parents, and their parents cannot even say anything because I mean, the children are the ones taking care of them. They don't want food. They don't want them to remove the food from their mouth, so they don't even bother saying anything. It's really so sad that drugs has come to stay if we don't do something about it. Like Engineer Ken
All right.
said, we have to sensitize. We have to sensitize. We have to keep sensitizing people in schools, on the way, on social media, any platform we think we can to do this. Even in churches, we still have to do this. Somebody said even in churches. Oh my
Yes.
God.
Let me say something, people.
Okay.
Um, Sorry, thank
Who's,
you very
who's
much,
talking?
Kashi.
It's Ninja Watch. Ninja Watch is
No,
talking.
no, Joe, this is not your platform today. You have to take permission from Miss Tachi.
And I'm a visitor now. Now make me take
You're a
permission now.
visitor now. You know, you have the
Now
permission.
make una not vex, I beg. This
Okay,
one are
okay.
very sensitive. a very sensitive matter that everybody needs to contribute on. I've
Yes,
said
yes,
it
you need
before,
to.
even before this day, if you guys remember, I've talked about similar things before on this channel, and I asked, I said, who to blame, the parents or the government? The truth of the matter is, for me, we blame the parents. If you check how we grow up, that's not how the postmodern children are growing up now. You know, many parents now are very, very lazy. They don't have time to check their children anymore, what they are doing, to monitor them and all that no more. To the extent, I said it before in my past program broadcast as well, that most parents, especially mothers, are even telling their daughters now on the junction where the Ofi go stand to get the attention of men. Mothers are doing it now
Are you
in Nigeria.
serious?
They will tell you, say, so place like this, big boys they pass them. My daughter, go past them. Maybe one of them will talk to you. You understand? Once you are not bringing up a child and you're letting the child know that, she's the one you are depending on, what do you expect? Most of these guys in Lagos right now, especially in Lekki, most of them are dealing with drugs. They take drugs all the time. So if they end up dating, they want to also indoctrinate, persuade one or two of their girlfriends to be doing the same thing they are doing so that both of them can align together. So if you ask me, I think it's the parents that we need to blame, because you cannot blame the government. The government cannot come inside your house to know what is currently going on there. Your mom's supposed to know how, when you leave the house and the time you return back home. Do you know that it's already dark now in Nigeria? Some girls at the age of 13, 12, 14, they are still outside as we speak, and their parents doesn't care their whereabouts. The rate of drug abuse right now in Nigeria is alarming. So the blame should go to the parents. And the most funny part of it now is that even 12, 13, 14 are now even doing what they call Olosho for Lagos. They now
They use
see
iPhone 13 Pro Max. Oh.
13 Pro Max. Okay. You understand? This is what they do now. And whatever they raise from the Olosho job they are doing, they part it and give some to their mother. Mostly their mothers. I know some people might be thinking, why not blaming the father and the mother? Because if you check, statistically now, there are more single mothers than women who really have husband in the house. Women in Nigeria are even divorcing their husband now because of privileges. They want to have 100% privilege over their life. They want to have full control over their life. And the only way they can have that full control is to divorce the woman
Divorce.
and to be living alone. Even in the industry now, Nollywood industry, we see actresses who are doing one of to make sure their husband divorce them. These are the ones that have pride. They don't want you to think or cast blames on them to say, oh, you divorce your husband. They will do one or two stupid and naughty things, then the husband will divorce them. Immediately in fact, immediately you talk, say, I will D, they will end divorce. Immediately you just say, I will D, they'll say, divorce us now, no wahala. Because that is what they want. If you check Nollywood actresses, I'm talking of big names right now. Immediately they divorce, they apply for hookup. They register for hookup. They now start traveling from one state to another, traveling from one country to another. But if they are married, they are under the canopy of their husband. They can't do these things.
Yeah.
This is why you see. So this is the result of the more we have single mothers, single parents, the more their children are being affected. Okay, let me go back to the diaspora, for example. We have more single mothers, in the diaspora as well. But do you know why? The reason why our children in abroad, they are still more aligning than the children in Nigeria is because the government are helping in abroad. You know, the government are helping, the government are watchful. Although we have lots of children abroad who are taking drugs as well, don't get me wrong. But before, if you check like 6 years ago or 10 years ago, statistically, it was much in abroad, in diaspora. But as we speak now, statistically, the gap where Nigerian youth take past the youth where they are abroad there, it be like waiting aeroplane till leave bicycle. That is what is currently going on now. You know, most women in Nigeria are praying every day, doing fasting and prayer to become single mother. Most. Because when they are single, they can jump from one house to another within the same community. But when they are not single, they cannot do these things. And this is where their daughters are, you know, are picking from. Then let's go to the men, the fathers in Nigeria. Most of the fathers in Nigeria now, and if you are a Yahoo boy now, for example, and you end up marrying, you know, whether you like it or not, your child, we have the blood of Yahoo in his blood.
Does it work
And I
that
cannot
way?
lie.
Does it work
I
like
don't know. What
that?
do you want to say? Is it not what you grow up seeing your father doing that will stick with
Yes, of
you?
course.
Engineer, am I lying?
Yes, of course. No, you are not
Exactly.
lying. It is true. It
Yes,
is
now
true.
is what you see your
It's true.
father doing, what you see your mother doing is what will stick with you.
Yeah, and the father will also teach you and encourage you to do the same thing.
Exactly. You know, so to be honest, parents are to be blamed 80%. Why government to be blamed 20%? That's it.
20%.
That's the same thing I
Yes.
said.
Yes. So I will leave that right now and let's move on to the. I would like lefties to talk to us. Lefties, what is your take on this? Meanwhile, before we move on, Kashi, lefties is one of us, Nigeria Watch team. All right, lefties. I think you've worked with two leftists now. This is the second leftist you are working with, right?
Oh, it's not the same person.
No, it's not the same person. I know.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Okay. The other one you always work with is called leftist Itoya. You know, this one is leftist Aiman Musa. I don't know if you could pronounce that.
This one
Pronounce
is
it.
a
Let me hear
fourth
you.
general.
I'll try.
This man is a fourth
Left,
general.
say leftist Aiman Musa. Say it.
Lefties, Aimaosa.
Okay.
I am
I'm one
one
sir.
sir. That means
I'm
you
one
don't
one sir.
content with God. You don't content with God.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
Yeah.
yeah, good evening,
Please
Mr.
tell us your
Lefties.
take.
Evening, Kachi. Happy to meet you this evening.
Same here.
Yeah.
Mr. Leslie, she has to take call the name. Wait, say Kachi. You want catch am?
No, sir.
Leave this
Now,
no, no.
I see you expect the name or now to talking like that. Oh.
The way you take talk and you say Kachi, we need to put this thing come out for our platform. We record the platform.
My bro, good evening, sir.
You know, my
Uh,
brother, put it up on your
yes,
estate.
sir. Domo.
Yeah, yeah, my brother.
Actually, Domo. Actually, Junior Ken has punched some of my points that I noted down. He has punched most of them. I'm not jealous, so Junior Ken. I'm
Don't lie
jealous
to me.
now
Please
Now,
because
don't
now,
you
be.
have
now,
Say the
almost
ones that I did not
now that
punch.
was I enter me. Oh. Not my fault.
actually in the 80s, 90s, there used to be a program they called Newswatch, headed by one Olise. At the beginning of the program, every Sunday evening, at the beginning of the program, he will say, "Parents, do you know where your children are now?" It has always been a question. Where are your children now? The program is about 8, around 9 p.m. in the evening on NTA then, Newswatch. Is a weekend program. He will ask parents, where are your children? Do you know where they are? The truth is that parents has failed woefully. We now
Mm.
have parents who lack the responsibility of becoming a parent. We now have children who are not parents. Children, imagine, children already, oh, they are not parents. What do they have to offer their children? We have also worked in instances, we have seen instances where mothers are giving their children beer, even fathers, young father, they'll give their little baby alcohol to be drinking. The other one they call shisha. You see mother giving it to their own children. And we are
Yeah.
really talking on toddler here. You understand? And that seems to be a very big problem because the foundation is is the basic root of everything. Once you get the foundation right, you have done over 80% of the job as a parent. I
Mm.
remember years ago, about 20 years ago, a man walked into my office and saw my, about more than said, saw my little baby sleeping on the ground. And the old man called me. He said, "Who is the owner of this child?" I said, "It's my son." He said, "Okay. If you are late now, it will take you 20 years to correct your mistake. Start your correction now."
No.
Like what engineer Ken tells you about the experience he had with his father. Most of us were privileged to have such parents who
Mm.
check your back on daily basis or to your own work. If you are having more than one pencil or the barrel not bought by you, bought for you by your parents, you know now, you know the consequences. Like they said, you know wetin they follow and they go. You will pay
Mm.
the supreme price, and it's not going to be easy with you. In fact, once you dabble it, you know originally what will happen to you. Do not know a soothsayer to take, don't need a soothsayer to get that done. And now we have parents who celebrate criminality.
Yes,
They
so.
take their they take their young boys to where they now call Yahoo Academy. You know they know have what they call Yahoo Academy in
Is there any
Nigeria.
social like that?
Yes, yeah, which we popularly call HK, where they go and
Mm.
buy a laptop for their children instead of them sending them to school to go and learn other trades. They will take them to a guy who is specializing in defrauding people. He will now be
Mm.
one of his applicants. The parents will, some will go to Lapo and go and raise money to go and buy laptop and Android phone for their children to learn how to defraud people. And instances, parents have also lost their children to that process where the overlord, the so-called owner of the fraud
Of the
academy,
academy.
will link some of the boys to death. Nigeria Watch has even done one year. We brought one year at a point that happened in Delta. They linked the young boy. What was his offense? His oga said the maga paid, and the boy is trying
Siphon
to
it.
collect the money without their notice. He ordered the boy to be beaten. The boy was beaten to the point of death, and the boy died. It was Nigeria Watch who now took the matter to a point before the Zone 5, Zone 5 in Benin, now took over the matter. If not, the young boy spent money. He's a millionaire, small boy. Spent money, and the matter was almost dead. And at the end of the day, after the broadcast, the police now took action, which led to the apprehension of the owner of the academy. Although the
Wow.
mother, at the end of the day, collected money, allowed the whole thing to fly out like that. But
Hmm.
for us, the parents have actually failed. Like what Engineer Ken said, 80% of the job actually is being done by the parents. But now the parents can no longer do that because while we have taken money to the level of God, and any society who do not actually believe in hard work and believe in taking money to the level of God, that is the kind of thing you see. We are also in society we are also in a society who do not believe in hard work. They believe in wealth without money.
Hmm.
They believe in wealth without money. Just imagine you have been working for the past 20 years and you're able to put yourself together, pull resources together, and start living some kind of life that suits your person at that particular stage. You see a boy of 11 years, he wants to be like you,
Yes, so you won't
without
drive
having,
it.
yeah, without having without an experience at all. So wants to be like our highly respected Isama. Isama is a hardworking man we all know, respect in our kingdom here in Benin. But the man is living his life because he has paid his dues. You as a small boy of 10, 15 years, you want to have Rolls Royce, and you come home with like with less of 550 or 530 at the or 330 as the case may be. Your parents will go to church and go and do thanksgiving without investigating your source of wealth. You build a home for your parents and they will hardly accept it. I know my both parents are late. They won't accept it. I know those who gave birth to me. They won't. You will find yourself the other side of the world. They will tell you this nail protected so long, you can't rub it on the mound. On the mound. That's what they will tell you. So parents have failed completely, and then these children whose parents has failed also move to a porous society, which we are today. We are in a very difficult society. You can attest to that. That we are in a society where those who are sitting can kill those who are standing. As bad as that. As bad as that. So they now move with this liberty thing to the society, and society is an open society with all kind of dangerous gifts. So that is where they will now be learning to drug taking and they become master. And you also know that the youth of today take sex as food. 70% of the youth today think of sex most in all the things they think of. They start by this enhancement drug, fire, other. So they graduate from that stage. From there, they start taking what they call blue sugar. In fact, the girls are now worse, so the boys are learning now. The girls love rough life more than the men. In criminality, the female child, once they are inside, they become A1, they become professional in it. That is how we got to the stage where we are today, and the government is not doing enough to checkmate this activity. Like in my state, in Benin, in Edo State, in Benin Metropolis, we have those cartels owners in major streets, and they are not hiding, and they are really making money to the bank, and the government is aware who they are, and some of them sponsor election. They are powerful, so there seems to be more than the law. The NDLEA in my state in Edo is a toothless dog. What they do is to arrest the weak, those who went to go and buy. But there are sources to those things. They never go to the sources, and that's where the problem is. And some key players in our society in Edo are one of those are some of them are cartel owners, and some of them are high drug takers. So it becomes a problem to actually fight in our society. And let me go to religious houses here. Religious leaders, they have also failed in their own responsibility as religious leader. They preach more prosperity than morality. That's where the problem is. They preach more prosperity than morality. There is no moral in this society today. Moral is not a thing of the past, like what the popular say in my place. It means your ABM that. What it means that is the good that is giving birth to the bad. Now, imagine what the bad will now start giving birth. What are they going to produce to society? That is why you now have mothers who now send their children to who now encourage their daughters to become prostitutes. I also want to also tell you that because I want to use my state for a case study. Now, in my state, Edo is more like a small Torino in Italy. What they build there is hotel, and these young girls, about 13 years, goes there to go and also. At the end of the day, they retire to their houses. And those who are also having some serious relationship have their boyfriends who are taking drugs, and their boyfriend will also lure them into it. And those are some of the situations we find ourselves. And most lastly, now we now also have parents, single mothers. In fact, women are now challenging themselves who now become the first single mothers. You now have a mother and a child, you don't know which one is correcting, which is correcting and the other. Now you see a mother dressed naked, and her daughter will dress in the same vein. You know what I mean by being naked. Where is their tie is a short knicker, short knicker far far below their knee, their lap, their tight, and you see how it kind of cut out to some certain region of their private part, and they expose themselves, and you see mother and a child almost dressing like irresponsible elements. So those are the problems. It's the parent that has failed, and parenting is a full-time job. So I'm encouraging every parent at this moment for us to get it right. We must go back to our various drawing board. Now we used to have the African way of keeping our society safe. Now you can't correct your neighbor's children. Once you see something is wrong, it takes a society to raise children before. That is the way we were raised. When your neighbor see what you are doing is not good, it will take the matter of leadership, of discipline at that stage. But now we have now adopted the Western culture of life, the Igbo way life, by locking ourselves inside our various home, and we are not open to ourselves. And when you see your neighbor's child is going out of line, if you try to correct that child, it becomes problem. You see the parents telling you, leave my children alone, leave my children alone. You also see in a situation where the man at times is proactive, the woman in the house would have to take the matter of leadership and start dealing with the man, say the man is an evil people, evil man, painting the man in a very wrong picture before the his children. Also on the other way around, there are some women, man, when those women, you prefer your mother, you prefer your dad to discipline you, because when your mom wants to discipline you, she will take it to the extreme. There are some women, they want to discipline their children. Such women at times are not also lucky in most cases, having a man who are also loose, who also want to paint the woman as wicked, as evil before our children. So it has always been so. I think at this time we can't continue to approach things the same way and have a different solution. A different solution. We must all go back to our various domain and see where did we get it wrong. That is what you could continue to ask ourselves. The human resources is the wealth of every nation. The future of every nation too is the youth. This is the part of government. Now, I said the last one before. Please just pardon me. On this
That's
very note, is that there's also a conspiracy against the people. Because in our country today, we are in a war between the very rich and the poor. I keep on saying it. This election period has revealed some of the things I've been telling people. Some will say I'm too suspicious and blah blah. You see, old politician children are now coming out to come and take form, and they all be winning their primary. Have you not seen that? Have you
yeah.
not seen that, Kachi?
Yes, we have.
Have
We
you
have.
have you have you seen the children of the poor who have done that?
No.
So is also a all those things are created for us. A situation has been created for us to be in this very situation. One of the situation is survivor. When a man is left to the ocean of survivor, he no longer thinks. He's now he dance to the tune of the master. It's like when you have a dog and the dog does not have sufficient food in the house, and you take the dog to a place and where there's enough food. It will be difficult before your dog can listen to you. Parents are now under pressure. Poverty has been given to the people as gift, and parents, in most cases, lost control over their children because they cannot provide to the needs of those children.
It's
And
true.
that is also when, yes, the children will, at that point, have their own kind of friendship, and they will be lured into this kind of life. That's another factor. You can see that, for example, ASU is 100 days today. The street uni street student in my state today celebrated the 100 years on street learning. They cooked jollof rice and shared to people. What is the meaning of that? Normally, they are supposed to be in their classroom and be busy with the academics. They
That's
say the
right.
devil's an idle mind is the devil's workshop.
Workshop.
Then some of those children, do you also believe you believe in today? By the time this rift is resolved between federal government and ASO, not all the children will go back to school. Some must have been
Mm,
key in one crime or the other. Some must have entered into drug. Some
mm-hmm.
must at the point enter this Libya route. Some go to HK. So those are some of the scripts written to us and given to us by the elite because they are children and studying abroad. You see that lawmaker,
Exactly.
she was boldly
Exactly.
telling us that she never schooled here. She was telling you indirectly, me and you catch it that we are not of the same class. We know that it's a societal problem apart from parents have failed. But the societal pressure also contributed where parents goes to work, they don't have Saturday. Some at this point now, at this time, some are still in work as I speak to you. So their children will not even know their father. They will also manage to recognize their mother, and some will not even know their mother and their father because before they go to school, their parents have left for work. Their parents will also come late in the night. So those are some of the issues. The problem is created by our kind of institution we have. Is a very big problem. The traditional ruler who ought to also be our spokesman, who need to also step into between governance and the people, are also making things worse. In fact, it's tougher every day because the people has been overthrown completely. The people have no place in this society, honestly. So that is my submission. Thanks for the opportunity of being here today.
Wow. Thank you so much. You've said a lot. You've said a whole lot, and I think you practically said everything. You practically said everything. Thank you so much, Mr. Leftit. I'm going to
I,
learn how to
I, I'm one sir. I'm one sir. I hope Engineer Ken is not envious of me now.
I'll learn, I'll learn how to pronounce your surname very soon. But lefties I can pronounce very, very
No,
well.
lefties, why will I be envious of you? Why will I jealous my brother?
I don't know whether you have you pin some of those points down in your next submission.
No, we don't need to write it down. It just flow by itself.
It just flows.
It just
That's
flow.
right. It just flows. That's right.
It just
And
flow by itself.
you're
Yeah.
very,
Thank you, sir.
yeah, Ken. It
Thank you,
just
sir.
flows. It's a pity. Yeah, you made a very valid point. You said most parents now depend on their children for
On
survival.
their children, yes.
Yes, they
Yes.
depend on their children for survival, and that's why at the end of the day, these children might end up going to the street to hustle, and the parents don't care because they became adults when they were already young. When they were at a young
No,
age, they
no,
became
no.
adults. They started
See,
fending for
see,
themselves when they are
Kachi,
young.
Kachi, Kachi. That is a rightful thing to do for parents to depend on their children for survival, but in a rightful way. Do you know
It's
when
not
I came to
right
do
when
you
the
know
children
when
are
I
still
came to
young.
America?
When the kids
Hold on,
are still
Kachi.
young.
Kachi, hold on. Do you know when I came to America? My
Mm-hmm.
first thought to my father was, I'm here. Okay, how are you? Fine. I said, Daddy, what do you want me to get for you later? My father said, get me more degree, more certificates. That's what I said. Say, get me more degree, more certificate.
Mm,
I was shocked. He didn't say buy me car. He didn't say buy me clothes or buy me house. He said,
mm,
get me more degree. Do you know that one time, my dad and I we had an argument. So I was so pissed off, and I was right. You know how African parents are. I told my dad, you know what, I'm mad at you. I don't want to talk to you anymore. So he hung on the phone on me. I called my mom. Instantly, I said, Mom, look, this what your husband does. Which your husband? I said, your husband. He said, your father. I said, yes. He says, your father, you're not calling my husband. Are you mad? I said, no, ma. Say, well, I don't want to talk to him again. My mother said, if you don't talk to him again, then stop calling me. My mom hung on the phone on me. I called my mom for good 1 month. She didn't pick up my call. I called my father for that 1 month. He didn't pick up my call. I had to start looking for people to go and beg my parents for me. So it were to be some wrong mother opportunity to grab the son. I say, don't mind me, man. Now, yeah, man, I just the manager. Don't mind now. Beg, you know. He will now win me to our side and kill my family before me, all
Yeah.
because of dollar.
Yeah, you already said so. You already
You
said
know,
if it's to be
so
some
so parenting is a very
critical.
very green thing that we have to start sanitizing parents. You know, the church has to do a lot. The mosque the same thing, and the local government and the state government, they have to start working hard, because if we want a better society, a better state, and a better country, these are the things that we have to do. We got to do this. It's a very, very, very big problem. And
Okay.
another thing again that our politicians has to do, that any politician, anybody that wants to run for any public office with a foreign degree, that person cannot run into that office. You
Okay, that will
understand
be
me?
a topic. That's going to be a topic for another day. We're going
Okay,
to
so
definitely
write it down now. Write it down
have
now. Yes, of course. So that
I
if we
will.
want that country to
I
grow,
will.
don't like what that senator just said. At this school here, I school in London. I said London is heaven. I said London is heaven. What is
We're
in
definitely going
London
to have we're
with
definitely
your
going to
small
have that
apartment?
we're definitely going to have that conversation because I mean that I think that's a topic for another time.
Yes.
We have
So,
somebody on the screen. We have somebody on the screen now, Mr. Okundaye. Thank you so much for joining us,
oh,
Mr. Okundaye.
Mr. Brother, he came late.
Mr. Okundaye, are you there, please?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everybody.
Yes, Mr. Okundaye, good evening. I don't know if you've been following the show because we're going to be rounding up soon. I don't know if you've been following it.
Okay, I just arrived now. I just arrived. I'm just coming back from work. So I'm
Oh,
not.
okay, okay. We're actually talking about drugs in the society, the alarming rate of how teenagers and school children take drugs, and who are we going to blame for this? Are we blaming the society, or we're blaming the parents, or we're blaming the government? That is exactly what we're
Oh,
talking about now.
eh, okay. How the the school children and everything? If the society is still part of the parents, is still part of the government. The truth of life is that although the English or the Bible said, brought up a child the way he will go, when he grow, he will not
So
depart.
we're not depart from it.
So, but the truth of life is those ahead of everyone, especially known as the government, because they are the leader who to make law. Since they are corrupt, since they are into such thing, so they cannot make law. The society, that is the society we are, especially we now say we are now in modern world, computer age. This it has turned many things. So no one concerned, no one care about other anymore, because we all believe that this is how life goes. So if others are doing it, it's right. A doctor is written in packet of
So who
cigarette
are
that
we to blame? So who do you think should be who do you think should be blamed? If you want to share it on a percentage, what do you think should have the highest share in this? Do you think the children are the parents are to be blamed, or you think the government are to be blamed?
the government has to be blamed, because if you did not allow cigarette, those things to enter market, people will not make use of it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Okundaye. We have Mr. Igbe on the screen now. Mr. Igbe, good evening. Thank you for joining us today.
Good evening, Sister Kashi.
Hmm. I don't know if
Good.
you've been following the show.
Yes. I saw it. Good evening,
Okay,
everyone. Good evening, Brother Lefty, Samosa. God bless you for your nice job that you are doing over there in Africa.
Thank you, sir. I'm grateful,
To
sir.
everyone, Mr. Okundaye, Mr. Engineer Ken, and others. Good evening to every one of you.
good
You are
evening,
well
sir.
from
Good
practical unto you all.
good evening.
See, just like what Mr. Engineer Ken was saying, you see, the children of nowadays, they are not like the children of, you know, 70s to 80s and to at least, in fact, the one of from 80s to 90s, 91, 92, see, okay. You see, the one of these days, these children of since 98, 97 to 2000, you see, they are very stubborn. You see, and secondly, the parents too, see, have their own blame. The
Hmm.
parents have their own blame, and the government has not put in place a law that guide minions. You understand me now?
Hmm.
These are the problem. Like, do you imagine that in Nigeria, eh, there were law put in place by Goodluck Jonathan that guide a child, I think child marriage of child of age or something like that. That child should reach at the age of 18 to 19 before getting married. I mean, a female child.
Hmm.
Do you know that among of the 36 states, the northern states have not put their own to law? The former governor of what they call it, a Zamfara state, he married 13 years old girl because in Islamic law, I mean the Sharia law said that a child from 12 years to 15 years, I mean the female, have the right to get married. Do you know that as we are speaking, in Nigeria constitution, I think if I don't make mistake, it should be section 30 something of our constitution, said
Hmm.
that there is no law that will be amended or that will be included to our constitution or that will be created that will affect the Islamic law. Are you getting it now? So
Hmm.
all these things making the country not to balance in terms of law, because when you want to file a bill or you want to file any bill that you have as a senate, you must look carefully, be very careful that the law will not affect the Islamic law. So whenever I tell the law is going to affect the Islamic law, I mean the Sharia law, they will just stroke it out in the parliament. So all these things are contributed to what we are examining today. And waiting, your worst part of it is austerity. You see, the way things is going in Nigeria, my sister, I will not tell you lie. I'm following many. I've been in Nigeria for many times. You see, I happen to be that I'm sometimes whenever time I go to Nigeria, because of the kind of business I did, sometimes I always be, in where people, do buying and selling all those things. So I see the way people is hungry, the way people are, encouraging their children to become Yahoo. A boy, I watched a legit TV, a boy of 16 years old from Edo State. His father forced him to travel through desert to Europe. Now, when the boy reached Libya, he hung up in Libya, and the journey were not good for him. He was repatriated back. In fact, he presented himself for repatriation back to Nigeria. Because that boy repatriated himself, did you know that the father said that there is nothing concerning that boy that will concern him? Even his own brother, all of them were against him, that he supposed that if the friends that he traveled with, all of them, many of them are in Europe. Why must you return back? The father said that he should not call in lie because he's the elder son, I mean the firstborn of the father. And it happened to be that the mother born the boy. It was the only child that the mother had for the man. So he become the only child in the hands in the family of the children of the man. So the only child. So everybody was against this boy. To the extent his own brother were chasing him out of house. that because you have failed to deliver, so you don't have chance in the family anymore. So what I'm trying to say here, in our days when we were growing up, my sister, when we were growing up, my father has many children. But do you know that among of all these children, no one that you will find out that he want to steal somewhere, or he went to do something contrary to the law of the family, or to the law of the community, or to the law of the government. Are you getting that? Why? Because they build that fear in us. They train us, parental training. They give us
Differently.
that fear, which is not existing today. In the world that we're living today, you will see a woman, a father and mother will be encouraged their son to be, or their daughter to be doing this 1-2-1-2 business, which I will not pronounce here right now. You understand me now? Because of what? Because they have saw somebody who used somebody to make money or whatever, and he has built a mansion. So they want to become, they want to be investing for where they did not sow. You
Exactly.
understand my point now? So all these things, if you ask me, I will say, like Western world where I am right now, if the parents cannot take care of their children, it now extend to the government, because it's like somebody who are watching his dirty linen outside. So somebody will
So
saw it. This is us.
if you're meant to give a percentage, if I'm asking now that who is to be blamed, are we blaming the government or we're blaming the parents?
See, the parents have to be blamed. The parents are the government, but
Okay.
it's 50-50. It's 50-50.
Okay,
Now,
so
in a Western world,
you're sharing it 50-50.
when the parents fail, the government will not come in.
Mm-hmm.
Are you getting it now? So in this case, our case in Nigeria, the government did not care. Even, do you know that
Yeah.
some of these children too are finding it difficult? They were good in their parents' home before they now go outside. Some of them are loyal to their parents before. So when things have got wrong, are you getting it now? They will now go outside to go and look for maybe daily bread or one thing or the other. From there, they will now meet a friend who will introduce them to the other side of the way. But if government intervene, maybe for example now, if a law has been signed as at the age of, let me just say for example, like here now in Rome where I live here, a child of 20 years old, even me as I'm here now, I'm almost 50. Money cannot enter to my bank account anyhow. I will declare that money and that money come. If I just some kind of money that will enter my bank account, they will close, they will freeze that bank account. I don't know if you have another place in the Western world. You understand my point now? So all these things need to be monitored. When a child, imagine a child will be at the age of 25 years old, like a money like 5 million, 10 million will enter his account. Nobody will ask. Nobody will. So all these things are where the government will fail. When the parents fail in their 50%, the other 50% is for government to intervene. What we call a rehabilitation to rehabilitate child. Our government today are not rehabilitating children. Are you getting it now? We
Yes.
don't even have a correctional centers for the minions and for the children that have not yet, like here now, there are two kind of age. When you are 18, there's the kind of level that will be at 18. Then when you have 20, there's kind of age that will be at 20 until you arrive that kind of 25, 30. Are you getting it now? So there is no law for them. There's support for here. There are law for every. Listen, you cannot. There's no way you can go. There's no way. Except that account that account has been created for you, but by the parents, maybe at the age of 10 or at the age of 15. Then the parents will be putting money there for the child, maybe till 18 years or till 19 years, until the child can come to control that account. That is the only way money will enter that child account that the government will not. Are you getting it now? So our
Yes.
government
So
have failed on every side. And even though the Eastern man,
so you're saying it's 50-50.
it's 50-50, sister. Because if the parents fail, if the parents of these
Government
days,
are meant to come
the
in.
parents of these days, if the parents of these days fail, is the right of the government to rehabilitate the children. Because just the way it is in Western world here, if you are not capable to take care of your children, the government will not intervene.
Yes, I got your point. You've made a very, very valid point. So the parent 50% and the government 50%. In a situation whereby the parent fails, the government are meant to step in, which is what we
Yes,
don't have here right now.
yes,
We don't
yes.
have that here. We don't
Even
have that
even
kind of
the age of
government
13
in
years old
Nigeria.
will be on sleeping on that bridge. The age of 12 years. I've been following some program where they do like a roundup where they do donate money for people online, like all these foundations. They call them
Yes,
foundation. Sometimes I contribute
yes,
to help people. You will see a
yes.
child. There was one guy they called John Osage. People say he's a skyway, but I don't too believe. Sometimes he be on camera on the street. You will see a child at University of Benin. I don't know if you know University of Benin. There are many children who are the age of 12, 10. They will be on that bridge. There was a video I saw when a child of 11 years, I mean 14 years old or so, were taking two girls, two or three of them were taking two girls of their age to hotel room to book an hotel room.
Yes, yes.
So,
That
so
that video actually went viral.
are you getting it now? So these are
Mm,
the area where our government are
that
failed.
failed.
Did you know
Okay.
that government have the right over your child? Like where we are here, we are critical to our children.
Mm,
We are critical. I don't
okay.
know. Some of those that
That
live here, I live in Italy. We are critical to our
that
children. There is where you
you
will
made a
arrive.
very
There's a
good
point you
point.
will arrive. The
You
government will tell
made
you
a
that listen, you are not.
you made a very valid point. A very valid point. Thank you so much for that.
Thank
So
you, my sister.
I got a comment now. Say even we in diaspora are not there yet. We still need ourselves to grow. Yes, I also believe that we need each other. We need one another to grow because like we said before, and I'm still saying it, the rate of drugs in the country is going high. Parents are no longer wanting to work to provide for their children. They want their children now to be the breadwinners of their home. In such cases, the children will not respect you. In such cases, the children will do anything and you will not even have anything to say because they are the ones taking care of you. They are the ones feeding you. How can a 21-year-old child build a house for the mother and the mother will be dancing? You're not asking the child, where did you get this money from? Mr. Okundaye and Mr. Leftis already said it, that there are places that you go, you pay money, buy laptops and send your children to, they call it HK. Okay, go and learn Yahoo. This is what I want you to do. I sincerely think the parents have also failed in this area because if we have watchful parents, if we have observant parents, if we have parents that actually have the interest of their children at heart, I think this thing will be reduced, not totally eradicated, but it will be reduced to the minimum. We have greedy parents now. We have parents who wants to look sharp, who wants to look peng, who wants to look good without actually working for that. Putting all their responsibilities on their children is really, really so sad. So on this note, I'm going to try and round up now, but then I'm going to give all of us the opportunity to talk again. Let me just ask through this question so we can round it up. What, okay, not question per se, just like your roundup remark. If there's we know obviously people are going to be watching this, people are watching this right now. What do you have to say to parents out there, and what advice do you have for the youth out there who are already involved in taking drugs? So I'm going to start with Mr. Leftis, please.
Good evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
For me, one, parents should rise up to their responsibility. It's a full-time responsibility because any child you did not take care, you didn't take proper responsibility of today, it will haunt you tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yes, because for every better today makes a better tomorrow for us. We must know that it's a responsibility for us to take off our children at every
Okay.
stage, the kind of friendship they keep. And secondly, the children, the youth of today should also know that they are the future of tomorrow. They should
Tomorrow.
desire a better life for themselves, of good conduct that will help them to be a better parents tomorrow. That is just my little advice. It's our collective responsibility to do this for your neighbor, for your own children, for us to have a safer society. If not, every one of us will be a potential victim of this system.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Leftis. So, Engineer Ken, what advice do you have for parents out there? And what advice do you have for the youths who are already involved in drugs?
Uh, Thank you very much, Patrick.
Thank you so
My yeah, my advice for the parents out there is
much.
never too late. You can still do it.
Mm,
If you're out there listening to me, hearing the sound of my voice in the four walls of your house, take a deep down of yourself. Stay in a quiet mood and think about your life. Think about your future. Your future is in your children's hand. What are you giving to them for their greater tomorrow? Is that the way you were being raised? Or if you were raised in that way, how can you change it? How can you turn your kids to become a great man and
okay.
woman in society? You can still do it. You can sit them down in your round table. You can educate them. You can nurture them. You can turn around and tell them that money is not the talk of the day. The Bible says money answered all things. But it now says the love of money is
Is
the
the root
root
of evil.
of all evil.
That's
You
right.
know, so you have to let them understand that. My own father taught me something. He said, "So, poor people no money." I said, "That's why." He said, "Hold their friendship." I was like, why? I mean, they hold me money. I mean, I was like, no, my son, money is not everything, but friendship will bring you wealth. Hold
Okay.
people friendship. When you hold their friendship, friendship will bring you wealth. So
Okay.
my advice for the young men and women that are involved, that have involved themselves into this drug. If you are a drug dealer, or if you are a drug seller, or a drug user, you are destroying your life. You that is taking that drug, you are destroying your life. You that is selling this drug for love of money, you are destroying the generation of your own time. It's never too late. You can throw them out. The little money that you have saved or you have made already, turn them into good things. Don't let you business so that life can be saved. When those lives are saved, God will now bless you. Because the life that you are destroying, God Almighty is counting their blood in your hand. Because you are the generating forces that are killing these children, that are killing these young, great tomorrow men. Men and women are supposed to become a scientist. Men and women are supposed to become an engineer,
Okay.
doctors, and leaders tomorrow. Please,
Okay.
my people, let's turn this table around and let's live a better Africa, a better Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That was very powerful and impactful. Thank you very much. Mr.
Thank you.
Okundaye, please.
Okay, thank you. What I have really to see, because we just see it one side. The society have put everybody there. The truth we are seeing today, we are no longer on our own self. We are not influenced of the foreign, what they call colonization. The time that I said we are not taking drugs because we were still practicing most of our tradition. There you have community meetings, you call it village meeting. Today we are saying developing. We have destroyed all those things. We have said we are not practicing with democracy. We are not practicing a white man life. So in white man land, that is how you find everybody, even 10 years, they take drugs. So we are not practicing white culture. White culture is destroying our life. And to go back to culture now, to our culture now, we believe it's the devil. So we don't want to we don't want to serve devil. We don't want anything our father we are doing that time. They were held devil. And those things were the things that we are guarding their steps, not to misbehave. Today,
Okay, so Mr.
everybody,
Mr. Okundaye, what is your advice to
yeah,
parents
the
and
oh, madam,
and 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 what are your advices to the youths that are already involved in drugs?
ma'am, the thing is, person that is in drugs or drug, he feel that is the life he can make him happy. So everybody need happiness. The people that take our happiness is the what take our happiness is the government of the world that we are practicing. Because senator is taking 14 billion, 14 million a month, whereby a person who suffer 36 days in 31 days or 21 days a month cannot earn cannot own 3,000, and they will not even pay him money. So why will their children feed? That is why you say people are sending their children to be responsible instead of being responsible for their children. Because the people who lead us make everyone to do so, because they have still everybody happiness. So everybody is trying to feed for themselves. The only advice I have is those who are in the government should stop stealing and killing our children, making our children to take drugs. They should
All
bring
right.
money to everybody. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Kundaye. Thank you so much. Mr. Igbe, what are your advice to parents and what are your advices to the youth that are already involved in drugs?
Okay, thank you, Sister Kachi, for opportunity given again. You see, let me go straight to the point to my advice. Number
Yeah.
one, my advice to the parents is for them to, to still keep on trying to rehabilitate their children. There is no child that is like what Okundaye was trying to explain. You see, in those days, our parents do threaten us with many things. In those days, our parents do sit us down, tell us story, tell us life, that the things you need to do, things you're not supposed to do in life. And don't forget that before a child went to the extent of taking drugs, it is the failure of the parents. It's either the parents, one of the parents is taking drug, or is smoking, or is doing one thing or the other, that making the child to learn from there, or the child now automatically fall on the other side of the people that that deal on drugs. It's like somebody, for example, if I want to come and buy kai from you now, you must do that. Say the kai must test it first before you buy from the person who is handling it. So little a drop of water became an ocean. Are you getting it now? So it's never too late for the parents, to call their child, to rehabilitate them, to present. I mean, to report them before the government that this is my child, this is where he's going, and I don't want him to continue like this. And the other side of my advice is of the government. The government should put measures in place. When it comes for things like this, the government should have measures in place that that we use to rehabilitate the child that is taking drugs before. Like they have those measures. They have places where they take those people to who the parents reported that yes, because a child from 18 years, a child has the right to his life. But when it becomes the area of drug, the parents have the right to report it. And when you report it, the government now will now show and take it to where they need to rehabilitate that child. So and these things are caused by poverty. So when government put measures in place, like a child who were not, having good care from the parents, at the end of the day, when government can be able to sustain them, in terms of economically, one way or the other, to make them remove their their mind away from those thoughts. Because in the olden days, don't forget, in the olden days, our parents, that were not many of our parents were not having access like that. But the little one they have, they were able to unite us together, because the Bible said, train up a child that the way when he grow up, he will not deviate away from it. Are you guys see that? Look at the case of Aso that we are talking about. Do you know that a lecturer who have been lecturing, receiving 450 or 500, but when he has an appointment to become maybe minister, one play or the other, he'll be receiving millions of naira. Are you getting it now? So that kind of lecturer, after the appointment have gone, when he come back to his classroom again, he will not accept himself to receive that kind of chicken change. Are you getting it now? He will protest against it, because why? He has seen that the politician receive money more than they. That is the problem we are seeing as issue today. All these professors, like Osinbajo is a professor, Do you tell me that Osinbajo will leave after his service now? Osinbajo will go back to class again? He will not. He will be looking one way or the other to remain in the political field, one way or the other, for him to aim him more and more.
That's very right.
You understand me?
what advice do you have for the youths that are already involved in drugs?
That's what I've said before. That the advice I have for them is for the parents, because some of them have been into it. It has become like a cancer into their flesh.
Okay,
It has
okay,
eaten them deeply. Are you getting
okay.
it now? So
Okay.
for
I
them to
didn't
leave it,
understand it
so
before.
it's the parents now that we report them to the authority. That listen, this my
Okay.
child or this my son, this is what he's doing,
Mm.
which I don't like. Are you getting it now?
Okay.
From there, the government
That's
now will now come in and rehabilitate him.
okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Igwe. Thank you
Thank
so
you. God
much.
bless you.
To all our panelists, thank you so much.
Good
Everybody
night.
in the comment section, I say a very big thank you to you guys for always being there for us. Those people viewing us from home or wherever it is you're viewing us from the office, wherever it is, thank you all so much. Without you guys, there's no Ninja World. I will say a big thank you to you guys. I hope we would like, share, and comment on this video. The reason why I always beg us to like it, so YouTube can always suggest Ninja Watch platform to other people, so more people can come in here, so they can at least see the good work that we do here. Thank you all so much. Do have a lovely evening. Bye bye.